Captain Taehyun Kim stood on the bridge of the research vessel Serenity *, his eyes fixed on the view screen. Stars stretched out before him, but his attention was on the alien ship that grew larger by the minute. "Are communications ready?" he asked, his voice steady despite the weight of the moment. Do-hyun, the communications specialist, nodded. "Yes, Captain. We can send our message whenever you're ready." This was humanity's first official contact with an alien civilization. The Volari had been detected 3 months ago, when their ships entered the outer edge of Earth's solar system. After careful observation, Earth's United Space Command had decided to send the Serenity * to meet them beyond Neptune's orbit. "Send the greeting package," Taehyun ordered. Do-hyun's fingers moved across his control panel. "Message sent, Captain." The bridge fell silent. 6 crew members watched the screen, barely breathing. This was the moment they had trained for, the reason they had been chosen from thousands of qualified candidates. Ju-woo Park, the science officer, broke the silence. "Their ship is impressive. The energy readings suggest technology at least a century beyond ours." Taehyun nodded. "Let's hope they're friendly, then." The response came faster than expected. The view screen flickered, and an alien face appeared. The Volari had smooth blue-gray skin, large eyes without pupils, and no visible nose. When it spoke, its small mouth barely moved, but the words came through clearly in English. "Humans, we receive your greeting. We are Volari. We know of Earth." Hyunjin Lee, the ship's diplomat, stepped forward. "We are honored to meet you. We come in peace, seeking friendship and knowledge exchange." The Volari's expression didn't change. "We have observed Earth for many cycles. You are young." The way it said young made Taehyun's skin crawl. There was something in its tone, like an adult speaking to a small child. "We invite learning and trade between our peoples," Hyunjin continued, following the carefully prepared diplomatic script. "Perhaps," the Volari replied. "We will meet. Prepare for docking." The screen went dark. "Well, that was brief," Subin Kang, the engineer, said with a nervous laugh. Taehyun turned to his crew. "Prepare for docking procedures. Ji-young, run full passive scans of their vessel, but nothing active. I don't want them to think we're being aggressive." As the crew moved to their stations, Ju-woo approached the captain. "Sir, I've been analyzing their transmission. There's something odd." "What is it?" "Their ship was already on a direct course to Earth before we made contact. And based on their language patterns, they'd been studying us for some time." Taehyun frowned. "How long?" "Decades, possibly longer." A chill ran down Taehyun's spine. "They've been watching us." "Yes," Ju said. "And there's more. I detected signals being sent from their ship to at least 3 other vessels hiding beyond the Kuiper Belt." "They didn't come alone," Taehyun muttered. He looked at the alien ship on the screen. It was almost 3 times the size of the Serenity *, its hull covered in what appeared to be weapon ports. "This isn't just a diplomatic meeting, is it?" "I don't think so, sir." Taehyun pressed the ship-wide communication button. "All crew, this is the captain. Be on alert. Our guests may not be as friendly as we hoped." He turned to Hyunjin. "When we meet them, be respectful but cautious. I want to know what they really want." The Serenity * shuddered as the docking procedure began. Through the view screen, Taehyun watched as mechanical arms extended from the Volari ship, pulling the Serenity * into a massive docking bay. "Here we go," he said. "First contact. Let's make sure it's not our last." As the airlock sealed and the pressure equalized, Taehyun couldn't shake the feeling that the Volari saw humans as something other than equals. The real question was, did they see humans as potential friends or as potential subjects? He would soon find out. The meeting room aboard the Volari ship was cold and too bright. Captain Taehyun Kim sat with Hyunjin Lee and Ju Park at a curved metal table. Across from them sat 3 Volari. The leader introduced himself as Senior Commander Vex. Unlike in the video message, the aliens were much taller in person. Each stood nearly 7 feet tall with long, thin limbs. "We welcome you to discuss terms," Vex said in flat English. Hyunjin smiled politely. "We hope to establish friendly relations between our worlds. Earth is eager to learn from your advanced civilization." Vex's large eyes blinked slowly. "Yes, you have much to learn." The Volari to his right placed a small device on the table. It projected a 3D map of Earth's solar system. "These are our terms," Vex continued. "Volari ships will be granted unlimited access to your solar system. Earth will provide resources as requested. Your military vessels will be limited to Earth orbit only." Taehyun struggled to keep his face neutral. These weren't terms for friendly relations. These were demands from a conqueror. Hyunjin kept her diplomatic smile. "Perhaps we misunderstand. We came to discuss mutual trade, cultural exchange." "Your species is in no position to negotiate as equals," interrupted the 3rd Volari. "You have only recently achieved space travel. Your technology is primitive." "With respect," Taehyun said carefully, "Earth must maintain its independence and security." Vex made a sound that might have been a laugh. "Security? From what? You cannot even defend your own planet from natural disasters." Jiwoo leaned forward. "We understand the Volari are powerful, but these terms would make Earth a subject world, not an ally." "That is the correct assessment," Vex replied. "Your species requires guidance." Back aboard the Serenity, Taehyun called an emergency meeting. The crew gathered in the conference room, faces grim. "They want Earth to become their servant," Taehyun explained. "No free travel beyond our orbit. Forced to give them whatever resources they demand." Dohyun raised his hand. "Captain, while you were meeting with them, I detected encrypted transmissions between their ships. I managed to decode parts of it. What did you learn?" "They mentioned something called a containment operation. They also referenced other species they've guided in the past." Min Jae-yoon, the tactical officer, cursed under his breath. "They're not looking for allies. They're adding us to their collection. We have 48 hours to accept their terms," Taehyun said. "After that, they'll escort us back to Earth to deliver their offer directly to our leaders." Subin shook her head. "If they reach Earth with their ships, our people will panic. Some nations might surrender immediately. Others might attack," Minji added, "which would give them an excuse for a defensive response." "We can't accept their terms," Ji-young said, "but we can't fight 4 advanced alien warships either." Taehyun looked at each crew member. "No, we can't, but we need to buy time." He turned to Hyunjin. "Can you extend the negotiations?" She nodded. "I can request clarifications, additional details, translation verification." "Good. Give us as much time as possible." "Time for what, Captain?" Jiwoo asked. Taehyun took a deep breath. "Time to contact Earth. There might be options we don't know about." "Sir," Do-hyun said quietly, "the Volari are blocking our long-range communications." The room fell silent. They were alone, millions of miles from home, facing an enemy that saw humans as little more than clever animals to be controlled. "Then we get creative," Taehyun said finally. "Subin, can you modify our emergency beacon to send a coded message through their blockade?" The engineer thought for a moment. "Maybe. If we disguise it as radiation from our engines." "Do it. In the meantime, everyone gather as much intelligence as possible about their ships, their weapons, anything that might help." As the crew hurried to their tasks, Taehyun stayed behind with Hyunjin. "I need you to go back tomorrow," he told her. "Smile, ask questions, request time to consider details. Just keep them talking." Hyunjin nodded, but her eyes showed her fear. "And if they see through it?" Taehyun had no comforting answer. "Then we'll have to hope Earth has a better plan than we do." Night cycle aboard the Serenity was quiet. The ship's lights dimmed to simulate Earth's darkness. But no one was sleeping. In the engine room, Subin worked on the emergency beacon while Minjae and Doyeon watched. "Can you really get a message past their blockade?" Minjae asked. Subin wiped sweat from her forehead. "Maybe. I'm hiding our signal in normal engine radiation patterns. If they're not looking specifically for it, it might work." "And if they are looking for it?" Doyeon asked. Subin didn't answer. They all knew what would happen if the Volari caught them trying to call for help. Meanwhile, Captain Taehyun sat alone in his quarters, reviewing options. Earth's other exploration ships were months or years away. Military vessels were limited to Earth orbit, just as the Volari had demanded in their terms. A knock at his door broke his concentration. "Enter," he called. Lieutenant Minjae stepped inside, looking nervous. "Sir, may I speak freely?" "Of course." Minjae lowered his voice. "Before I was assigned to Serenity I worked security at Earth Defense Command. There were rumors about a classified project called Thunderbolt." Taehyun raised an eyebrow. "What kind of project?" "A ship, sir, not for exploration or science. A real warship, built in secret." "Why are you telling me this now?" "Because if it exists, it might be Earth's only chance, but it would be top secret. Regular channels wouldn't acknowledge it." Taehyun considered this. "Do you know anything else about it?" "Just rumors. That it's big and has technology we don't officially have yet." A faint hope began to grow in Taehyun's mind. "Thank you, Lieutenant. Get some rest." After Minjae left, Taehyun pulled out a small device from a hidden compartment in his desk. Every captain of an Earth vessel carried an emergency authorization code, a direct line to Earth Defense Command for use only in extreme situations. This definitely qualified. He activated the device and entered his personal code. After several tense minutes, a secure connection established. "This is Admiral Han." "Captain Kim, why are you using the emergency channel?" Taehyun explained the situation quickly. The Volari ships, their demands, the blocked communications. "We need help, Admiral. Immediately." There was a long pause. "Captain, what you're asking for doesn't exist. Earth has no military vessels capable of reaching your position in less than 6 months. Sir, with respect, I've heard about Project Thunderbolt." The silence that followed told Taehyun everything. "That information is classified." Admiral Han finally said, his voice tight. "Sir, in 48 hours, 4 advanced alien warships will head to Earth to force our leaders to accept terms that will effectively end human independence. Classification won't matter then." Another long pause. "Verify your identity. Alpha 7 Delta 9 Tango." Taehyun provided the correct response code. The Admiral's voice lowered. "Listen carefully. I can neither confirm nor deny the existence of such a vessel. However, if such a ship existed, it would take approximately 36 hours to reach your position using certain propulsion systems." Taehyun's heart raced. "So we need to buy time." "Exactly. Keep those aliens talking for at least 36 hours. Do whatever it takes." "Understood, sir." "And Captain, if, and I stress if any vessel were to arrive, do not be alarmed by its appearance. It would likely be substantial." The connection ended. Taehyun sat back, mind racing. He needed to tell his crew, but carefully. They couldn't risk the Volari learning anything. He called a meeting in the ship's mess hall, away from the bridge where Volari scanners might pick up their conversations. "We have 36 hours to stall," he told them after explaining the situation. "Help is coming, but we need to keep the Volari distracted until then." "What kind of help?" Ju asked. Taehyun smiled slightly. "The kind that might change the Volari's opinion of humanity." Hyunjin looked worried. "I don't know if I can stall them that long in negotiations." "You won't be alone," Taehyun assured her. "We'll all take turns finding reasons to meet with them. Questions about their culture, their technology, their biology, anything to keep them busy." And if this help doesn't come? Subin asked. Then we do what we've always done, Tae-yun said firmly. We adapt, and we survive. As the crew dispersed to prepare, Tae-yun looked out a viewport at the Volari ship. 36 hours suddenly seemed very long, and very short. At the same time, morning came too quickly. Hyunjin took a deep breath before entering the Volari meeting room. Captain Tae-hyun and Science Officer Ju joined her. We have reviewed your terms, Hyunjin began, and we have several questions about specific details. Vex, the Volari commander, tilted his head. Questions? The terms are simple. Simple, perhaps, but unclear in many areas, Hyunjin said smoothly. She pulled out a tablet. For example, when you say resources as requested, what specific resources are you referring to? All resources, another Volari said. But surely you don't need everything, Hyunjin pressed. We need to understand quantities, timeframes, delivery methods. Vex's eyes narrowed. These are unnecessary details. Not to our leaders, Tae-hyun cut in. Earth operates by precise agreements. We need clear terms to present. The meeting dragged on for hours as Hyunjin asked question after question. When the Volari grew irritated, Ju would jump in with scientific inquiries that seemed relevant, but mainly served to waste time. Back on the Serenity Ji-young worked in her small security office. As intelligence officer, her job was to gather information about potential threats. Now she was piecing together everything they knew about the Volari. Do-hyun entered with a datapad. I decoded more of their transmissions, he said quietly. It mentions 3 other species they've guided in the past century. Ji-young looked up. Guided. Their word for conquered. These species all provided resources and labor to the Volari. One tried to rebel 50 years ago. He paused. They don't exist anymore. Ji-young added this to her growing file. So they follow a pattern. First contact, then demands disguised as agreements, then resource extraction. Exactly. And look at this. Do-hyun showed her sensor readings of the Volari ships. Their weapon systems are charged and ready. They were prepared for a fight before they even met us. Meanwhile, in the medical bay, Yoonjin Seo studied biological data on the Volari. Captain Tae-hyun had asked her to find any weaknesses they might have. Fascinating, she murmured. The Volari biology showed they evolved as apex predators on their home world. Their brain structure suggested instincts geared toward dominance and territorial control. They don't just want our resources, she realized. They psychologically need to dominate other species. The hours ticked by slowly. When the first negotiation session ended, Tae-hyun requested another for technical discussions. When that ended, Ju asked for scientific exchange meetings. At hour 24, the Volari's patience began to wear thin. These delays are unnecessary, Vex stated coldly. You are stalling. Not at all, Tae-hyun replied calmly. This is how humans prepare important agreements. We must understand all aspects. You have 12 more hours, Vex said. Then we travel to Earth, with or without your agreement. Back on the Serenity Tae-hyun gathered his crew. 12 hours left. Any word from Earth? Subin shook her head. Nothing yet. Then we keep going. Min-jae, you'll lead the next session. Ask about their military structure, their fleet deployments. Make it sound like we're preparing to work with them. As the hours passed, tension grew. The crew took turns sleeping in short shifts. No one wanted to miss what might happen. At hour 34, just 2 hours before the Volari deadline, Tae-hyun sat alone on the bridge. He checked the ship's long-range sensors again. Nothing. Captain, Do-hyun's voice came through the comm. The Volari are hailing us. They're demanding we prepare for departure to Earth. Tell them we need 1 more hour to complete our technical assessments, Tae-hyun replied. Sir, Do-hyun's voice dropped to a whisper. What if help isn't coming? Tae-hyun gripped the arms of his chair. It will come. But as the minutes ticked by, doubt crept in. Had Admiral Han been telling the truth? Was there really a ship called the Aegis Asterisk? Or had he sent that message just to give them hope? At 35 hours and 30 minutes, alarms suddenly blared across the Serenity Asterisk. "Captain," Minjay shouted from his station. "Massive energy signature detected entering the system." Taehyun's heart raced. On screen, the view screen activated, showing empty space. Then, something began to appear, something enormous. "Sir," Minjay said, his voice filled with awe. "I think our help just arrived." The entire crew of the Serenity Asterisk stood frozen, staring at the view screen. What began as a small point of light grew larger and larger until it filled their view. It was a ship, a human ship, but it was unlike anything they had ever seen before. "My God," whispered Juwoo. "It's enormous." The vessel that appeared was at least 5 times the size of the largest Volari warship. Its dark hull gleamed in the distant sunlight, covered with what appeared to be weapon systems and armor plating. The front section formed a wedge shape, while the rear housed massive engine ports that glowed with blue energy. On its side, in large white letters, was the name. *EDS AEGIS*. Earth Defense Ship Aegis. Taehyun read aloud, a smile spreading across his face. Thunderbolt was real. The ship's sensors registered immediate changes in the Volari fleet. Their ships began powering up defensive systems and moving into formation. "The Volari are hailing us," Dohyun reported, his voice shaking with excitement. "They sound different." "Put them through," Taehyun ordered. Vex appeared on screen. His usual calm expression was gone, replaced by what looked like concern. "Captain Kim," he said, his voice higher than normal. "Explain the arrival of this vessel immediately." Before Taehyun could answer, a new voice broke in. "This is Captain Sunwoo Wong of the Earth Defense Ship Aegis Asterisk. I will speak directly with the Volari Command." The screen split to show a stern-faced human woman in a dark blue uniform with gold trim. Captain Wong had short black hair and eyes that seemed to pierce through the screen. "I am Senior Commander Vex of the Volari Diplomatic Fleet," Vex replied, his posture straightening. "Your arrival was not expected." "Nor was it announced," Captain Wong replied coolly. "Just as your true intentions toward Earth were not announced. We would like to request a revision of the diplomatic terms you have offered." The Volari commander's eyes widened slightly. "You have been monitoring our communications." "Of course," Captain Wong said. "Just as you have been monitoring Earth for decades. We thought it only fair to return the courtesy." A silent tension filled the communication channel. Taehyun and his crew watched in amazement as the Volari, who had been so dismissive before, seemed at a loss for words. "Captain Kim," Captain Wong said, turning her attention to the Serenity Asterisk. "Your crew has done excellent work in maintaining diplomatic relations. The Aegis Asterisk will take position alongside your vessel." As she spoke, the massive ship moved with surprising grace, positioning itself between the Serenity Asterisk and the Volari fleet. Sensors on the Serenity Asterisk were working overtime, trying to analyze the Aegis Asterisk. The readings made Juwoo gasp. "Captain," she said quietly to Taehyun, "the Aegis Asterisk has energy shielding technology. We don't have that technology. At least I didn't think we did." Minjay checked his tactical readings. "Those aren't standard weapon systems either. Nothing in our database matches them." The Volari ships were scanning the Aegis Asterisk too, and their reaction became clear when Vex spoke again. "Captain Wong," he said, his voice now formal and respectful, "the Volari High Command would like to reconsider our diplomatic approach with Earth. Perhaps we were too hasty in our initial proposals." "Perhaps," Captain Wong agreed. "I suggest we arrange a new meeting, one where both sides can speak as equals." "Yes," Vex said quickly. "That would be appropriate. We will prepare new representatives for this discussion." When the communication ended, cheers erupted on the Serenity's bridge. Taehyun sank into his chair, relief washing over him. "Captain," Do-hyun called out. "The Aegis is hailing us directly. Captain Wang wishes to speak with you privately." Taehyun nodded and took the call in his ready room. Captain Wang's face appeared on his screen. "Captain Kim," she said with a slight smile. "It seems we arrived just in time." "Yes, ma'am," Taehyun replied. "If I may ask, where did the Aegis come from? How does Earth have this technology?" Captain Wang's expression turned serious. "That's what I need to discuss with you and your senior officers. Prepare for visitors, Captain. There's much you need to know about Earth's real place in the galaxy." The shuttle from the Aegis docked with the Serenity 2 hours later. Captain Taehyun and his senior officers waited in the main airlock as the door opened. Captain Sunwoo Wang stepped through first, followed by 3 officers in the same dark blue uniforms. They carried themselves with the confidence of experienced military personnel, not explorers. "Captain Kim," Wang said, extending her hand. "It's an honor to meet you in person." Taehyun shook her hand. "The honor is ours, Captain. You arrived just in time." "That was the plan," she replied with a small smile. "Allow me to introduce my team. This is Weapons Specialist Ji-hoon Kang, Science Director Hannah Jang, and Chief Engineer Woojin Park." After quick introductions, they moved to the Serenity's conference room. Security measures were activated to prevent any Volare scanning or listening devices from working. "I'm sure you have questions," Captain Wang began once they were all seated. "Several thousand," Taehyun admitted. "Starting with how Earth has a ship like the Aegis when our official technology isn't nearly that advanced." Ji-hoon, the weapons specialist, opened the secure tablet. "The Aegis is the result of Project Thunderbolt, a classified program that began 30 years ago, after the Mars incident." "What Mars incident?" Ju asked, leaning forward. Hannah, the science director, answered. "In 2092, a small alien craft crashed on Mars. We recovered it before any public announcement was made. The ship was damaged, but its technology was intact. The crew was dead," Ji-hoon continued. "But they weren't Volare. They were fleeing from something. Their ship contained technology far beyond ours. Advanced propulsion, energy shielding, weapons systems we still don't fully understand." Taehyun sat back, stunned. "You're saying the Aegis was built using reverse-engineered alien technology?" "Yes," Captain Wang confirmed. "Earth governments decided to keep this secret while developing our defensive capabilities. We knew if other species discovered Earth, they might not come in peace." "How right you were," Subin said. Woojin, the engineer, pulled up schematics of the Aegis. "She's the first of her kind, nearly 1,500 meters long, with a crew of 800. Her main cannon can disable a ship the size of the Volare Flagship with a single shot." The Serenity crew stared at the specifications in amazement. "Why didn't we know about this?" Hyunjin asked. "We're Earth's diplomatic vessel." "Need to know basis," Captain Wang replied. "The fewer people who knew, the less chance of the information leaking to potential threats. Until now, the Aegis has remained hidden in the asteroid belt, conducting test flights only when satellites were oriented away." A message interrupted them. "Sir," Do-hyun's voice came through the comm. "The Volare are requesting a meeting. They've sent a new ship into the system. It's much larger than their others." "They're escalating," Minju said. Ji-hoon shook his head. "No. Look at the markings on the new vessel. Those aren't military insignias. They've called in their actual diplomatic ship. The previous ones were military vessels pretending to be diplomatic." "This is good," Captain Wang said. "It means they're taking us seriously now." "Why would they change their approach so dramatically?" Taehyun asked. "Because of the Aegis. Hannah explained. Our scans show the Volari were sending detailed information about us back to their home system. They were assessing our threat level. The asterisk Aegis asterisk just raised that assessment considerably. So they respect strength above all, Hyunjin realized. Precisely, Captain Wang confirmed. The Volari culture is hierarchical and territory-based. They only negotiate fairly with those they consider worthy opponents. Taehyun nodded slowly. And now they see us as worthy. Which means we can negotiate a fair treaty, Hyunjin said, hope in her voice. The meeting was interrupted by another call. Captains, Dohyun reported. The new Volari ship is sending a message. There, High Ambassador wishes to meet with both of you immediately. Captain Wang and Taehyun exchanged looks. It seems our position has improved, Wang said with a slight smile. Tell them we accept, Taehyun replied to Dohyun. And we look forward to discussing more equitable terms. As they prepared for the meeting, Taehyun pulled Captain Wang aside. Is there anything else I should know before we face them again? Her expression turned serious. Yes, the Volari aren't the most dangerous species out there. They're actually quite weak compared to some. The real question is, why are they expanding so aggressively now? You think they're being pressured by something else? I think, Captain Wang said quietly, that humanity just became a player in a game much bigger than we realized. The new Volari ship was nothing like the others. While their warships were functional and plain, this diplomatic vessel gleamed with decorative elements and cultural symbols. Inside, the meeting room was large and comfortable, with chairs properly sized for humans. Taehyun noticed the difference immediately. They prepared for us this time. Captain Wang nodded. First rule of diplomacy. The room setup shows how important they think you are. A door slid open, and 3 Volari entered. Unlike Commander Vex, they wore elaborate robes with symbols of rank. The one in the center was taller, with skin that had a slightly purple tint. I am High Ambassador Mero, the central figure announced. I speak with the direct authority of the Volari Leadership Council. Hyunjin stepped forward, bowing slightly. I am Diplomat Hyunjin Lee of Earth. These are Captains Kim and Wang. Please be seated, Mero said, gesturing to the table. It seems we have much to discuss. As they took their places, Taehyun observed how differently the Volari were behaving. Gone was the condescension. Now there was caution, even respect. The terms previously offered, Mero began, were perhaps premature. We wish to propose a more balanced agreement. We're happy to hear your new proposal, Hyunjin replied smoothly. The new terms were indeed different. Instead of demanding unlimited access to Earth's solar system, the Volari now suggested designated trade routes. Instead of resource demands, they offered technological exchanges. These terms are much more reasonable, Hyunjin acknowledged. However, we have concerns about your past interactions with other species. Mero's eyes narrowed slightly. You have been gathering information about us. Of course, Captain Wang said, just as you gathered information about us. Jiwoo, who had been analyzing data on her tablet, looked up. We're particularly interested in learning about the technologies you might share. Our scans show several that would be compatible with our systems. The meeting continued for hours, with both sides carefully negotiating points. When they took a short break, Hyunjin pulled Taehyun aside. Something's not right, she whispered. They're being too accommodating now. It's like they're afraid. Captain Wang joined them. I agree. They're hiding something. Back at the table, negotiations resumed. But now, Dohyun, who had been monitoring Volari communications, sent a message to Taehyun's tablet. Asterisk intercepted Tyran SMSN. Mentions something KALED DDRAKRI REPATEDLY asterisk. Taehyun looked at Captain Wang, who nodded slightly. She had received the same message. High Ambassador, Captain Wang said suddenly, we appreciate your new approach to negotiations. But for a true partnership to work, we need honesty. Who are the Drakari, and why are you afraid of them? The room went silent. The Volari diplomats looked at each other in shock. "How do you know that name?" Marrow demanded. "We have our methods," Captain Wang replied calmly. "Are they the reason for your expansion? The reason you seek to control other species and their resources?" Marrow stood up abruptly. "This meeting is temporarily adjourned. I must consult with my government." After the Volari left, Taehyun turned to Captain Wang. "Did we push too hard?" "No," she replied. "Now we'll get the truth." An hour later, the Volari returned. Marrow looked tired. "The Drakari," he began slowly, "are a species from the galactic core. They have been expanding outward for centuries, conquering or destroying all in their path. The Volari have managed to stay independent by providing resources and, occasionally, new territories. You offer them other worlds to keep them away from yours," Taehyun realized. "Yes," Marrow admitted. 3 years ago, they demanded we expand our territory and provide new resources within the decade. We have been desperate." The room fell quiet as everyone absorbed this information. "So that's why you approached Earth the way you did," Hyunjin said. Marrow nodded. "But now, with your ship," he looked at Captain Wang. "The Drakari respect strength, more than even we do. If Earth and the Volari formed an alliance, with your technology, you think we could stand against them together?" Captain Wang finished. "It is possible," Marrow said. "We have never seen weapons like those on your Aegis asterisk." Taehyun and Captain Wang exchanged looks. What had begun as a simple negotiation had suddenly become much more complicated. "I think," Taehyun said carefully, "we should discuss what a mutual defense agreement might look like." 1 week later, Taehyun stood in the Serenity's observation room, watching as officers from both Earth ships and Volari diplomats signed the final agreements. The mood was serious but hopeful. The treaty recognized Earth as a sovereign power with complete rights to its solar system. Trade routes were established that would benefit both species. Most importantly, a mutual defense clause was included, promising aid if either world faced attack. Hyunjin approached him, smiling softly. "It's done, Captain. Not bad for our first alien treaty." "Not bad at all," Taehyun agreed, especially considering how it started. Across the room, Captain Wang was speaking with Ambassador Marrow. The Volari diplomat seemed more relaxed now, almost friendly. "The Aegis asterisk will return to Earth tomorrow," Taehyun said. "Captain Wang says they'll leave us with enhanced shield generators and communication systems for the Serenity asterisk. A nice parting gift," Hyunjin remarked. "Do you think Earth will build more ships like the Aegis asterisk?" According to Captain Wang, 3 more are already under construction. After this, they'll probably build even more. The signing ceremony ended, and a room began to clear. Ambassador Marrow approached Taehyun and Hyunjin. "Captain Kim," he said with a slight bow, "may I speak with you privately?" Taehyun nodded, and they moved to a quiet corner of the room. "I wish to apologize," Marrow said, his voice low. "Our initial approach to your species was disrespectful." "You were doing what you thought necessary for your people's survival," Taehyun replied. "Yes, but that does not make it right." Marrow looked out at the stars. "We severely underestimated humans. It is not a mistake we will make again." "We're often underestimated," Taehyun said with a small smile. "It's something of a human trait to appear less capable than we are." "A dangerous trait," Marrow observed, "but perhaps a useful one." After the ambassador left, Ju joined Taehyun. "Captain, I've been studying the data the Volari shared about the Drakari. They're unlike anything we've encountered before. Their technology is centuries beyond even the Aegis asterisk. How did you get that information? I thought the Volari were being secretive about the Drakari." "They were," Ju said with a sly smile. "But their cultural specialist, Lano, has been very helpful. I think he has a crush on me." Taehyun laughed. "Good work, science officer." Later that evening, as most of the crew celebrated, Taehyun returned to the bridge. He found Subin there, running diagnostics on the new systems the Aegis crew had installed. "Not joining the party?" he asked. "Soon," she replied. "Just making sure everything works properly. These shield generators are amazing, Captain. They're 5 generations beyond anything we thought possible." "We have a lot to learn," Taehyun said, sitting in his captain's chair. "And apparently not much time to learn it. Do you think we'll be ready when the Drakari eventually come?" Taehyun looked at the stars on the view screen. "I don't know, but we won't face them alone now." The next morning, the Aegis prepared to depart. Captain Wang made one final call to the Serenity *. "You did well, Captain Kim," she said. "Your first contact mission turned out to be more critical than anyone expected." "Thank you for the rescue," Taehyun replied. "We wouldn't have succeeded without you." "That's not true," she said seriously. "You bought time, gathered intelligence, and maintained diplomacy under extreme pressure. Earth Defense Command is very impressed." After the call ended, Taehyun gathered his crew on the bridge. They watched together as the massive Aegis turned toward Earth and engaged its engines, vanishing in a flash of blue light. "Setting course for home, Captain?" Minjae asked from the helm. "Not yet," Taehyun replied. "Our mission has changed. Earth wants us to continue to the Volari homeworld as official representatives. We have a lot to learn about our new allies and the galaxy they've been navigating without us." As the Serenity changed course, Taehyun thought about how quickly everything had changed. 1 week ago, humans were considered weak and primitive. Now they were respected allies in a galactic conflict they hadn't known existed. On the Volari command ship, Ambassador Mero composed his final report. "The humans are not what they seem. They may be young, but they are dangerous. And perhaps they are exactly the allies we need."